Lily was a blind girl who lived in a small, peaceful town. Despite her blindness, she was known for her remarkable independence and kind heart. From a young age, Lily learned to take care of herself. She could cook her meals, clean her home, and even walk to the market alone. Over the years, she had mastered the art of living without sight, and everyone in the neighborhood admired her strength, resilience, and positive spirit. But Lily wasn't just independent, she was also incredibly trusting. She believed that everyone had goodness in their hearts and that kindness could change the world. Her warm smile and gentle voice made her beloved by many, and her quiet, unwavering trust in people made her an inspiration. However, her trusting nature often led to moments where people took advantage of her innocence, though she never allowed bitterness to cloud her heart. One bright, sunny morning, Lily decided to visit the market to buy vegetables. The sun was warm, and a gentle breeze played with her hair as she walked confidently down the cobbled street. With her white cane tapping the ground rhythmically, she greeted everyone she passed with a friendly good morning. She had grown used to navigating the town this way, and although she couldn't see, she could hear the hum of life around her, children playing, people chatting, the sounds of wheels turning on the cobblestones. As Lily reached a vegetable stall, the smell of fresh produce filled the air. She greeted the salesman, a man named Mark, with a soft, "Good morning. Can you give me some potatoes and carrots, please?" Mark, a middle-aged man with a sharp business sense, had always been a little too focused on profits rather than people. He smiled at Lily's kindness, but there was a glimmer of something less noble in his eyes, a quick calculation of how he might take advantage of her trusting nature. "That will be $10, Mark said, placing the vegetables in a small bag. Lily reached into her purse, feeling for the right amount of money. She handed over a bill. Mark, sensing an opportunity, took out the change, but secretly kept a portion for himself. He quickly handed her the remaining money, a sly smile playing on his lips as she placed the coins in her purse without counting them. Lily, feeling the weight of the coins, paused for a moment. She could sense that something was wrong. She knew the amount didn't add up. Her heart sank, but before she could react, she reminded herself that maybe Mark needed the money more than she did. Perhaps he has a family to feed, she thought. Lily smiled and thanked him, walking away with the groceries, her head held high. As she walked down the street, her hand gripped the bag of vegetables tightly, but she couldn't shake the uneasy feeling in her chest. She wished she had said something, but at the same time, her kindness refused to allow anger to take root. A few weeks passed, and Lily was walking back home after finishing her daily errands. It was late afternoon, and the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows. As she passed the busy marketplace, she heard a faint voice, weak and desperate, calling out to anyone who would listen. "Please, help me. I'm so hungry." Lily stopped in her tracks. The voice was soft, yet there was such a raw sense of need that it tugged at her heart. She turned toward the sound, using her cane to navigate, and soon found a man sitting on the curb. His clothes were ragged, his face dirty, and his eyes filled with sorrow. His voice cracked as he continued to beg for food, and Lily felt a deep sadness rise within her. Without hesitation, Lily reached into her bag and pulled out the bread she had just bought. She couldn't stand the thought of anyone going hungry. "Here, take this," she said, her voice kind. "It's not much, but I hope it helps." The man's eyes widened as he took the bread, and as their hands brushed, there was a moment of recognition. His face turned pale, and his eyes grew wide with shock. It was Mark, the same man who had stolen from her at the market. Lily's heart dropped, but she didn't speak. She waited, wondering how he would react. Mark's eyes filled with tears as he looked at her, and he quickly bowed his head in shame. You recognize me, don't you? He asked in a trembling voice. Lily shook her head slowly. No, I don't, she said quietly. Mark let out a bitter laugh, his voice breaking. I'm the one who stole from you at the market. The money I took from you. It's the reason I've lost everything. I was greedy, and now look at me reduced to begging on the streets. Lily remained silent, her heart heavy with a mixture of compassion and sadness. She had suspected as much, but hearing the truth was painful. I've lost everything, Mark continued, tears streaming down his face. My business, my house, my family, all because of greed, and now I'm nothing more than a beggar. Lily knelt down beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. Mark, I knew what you did at the market. I didn't say anything because I hoped that you would realize it yourself, but now I see what your greed has cost you. I'm sorry for what you've gone through. Mark's sobs grew louder. You were so kind to me, and I betrayed your trust. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Lily gently wiped his tears away. Forgiveness is not about whether you deserve it or not, Mark. It's about healing. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that you learn from them and change. You can still start over. Mark looked up at her, his heart filled with a mixture of gratitude and shame. I don't know how to thank you, he whispered. You don't have to thank me, Lily replied. Just promise me you'll never let greed control your life again. You can start fresh. I believe in you. Over the next few months, Mark turned his life around. He found a job and began to help others in the community. Slowly, he worked hard to rebuild his life, and the people in town began to see the changes in him. He was no longer the dishonest man he once was, but a man who had learned the value of kindness, humility, and hard work. Lily, as always, continued to live her life with grace and generosity. Her actions had not only transformed Mark, but had inspired others around her to be better people. The town, once a place of ordinary kindness, had become a beacon of compassion, thanks to Lily's example. Lily's story became one that was told to children and adults alike. It was a story of kindness, of forgiveness, and of the power of second chances. She had shown that no matter how dark a person's path may seem, there was always a chance to change, to start over, and to live a life filled with love and understanding. Moral of the story: kindness and forgiveness can change lives, even when others wrong us. Showing compassion and understanding can inspire them to become better people. Never underestimate the power of a simple act of kindness.